What happened? Where are we? Give me a countdown. I'm not ready. Count me down. Stand by. Yeah, okay. Let's start the show. It's the UFC 290 preview. It's Ringside Report MMA. Let's start now.
Let's go!
Yo, where are they? Guys, do you see what happened?
Yeah, motherfucker.
My God.
No, you didn't.
What?
You changed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, everybody saw I was like barely wearing any clothes. Everybody saw me. Well, that's fine. I mean, I was wearing a tank. I wasn't like nude or anything, but the show started and I wasn't fully in gimmick because I saw AJ with his little denim button-up shirt, and I was like, oh, I think I got like a denim-y button-up shirt I could wear too, so I could look like AJ and we could have a whole gimmick going. But then the show started, and I was like, I could cut off guard. It's supposed to be a countdown. There's no countdown. I was like, what's going on? I was like, no, I'm not ready. Give me a countdown. Get me the hell out of here. I'm not sitting here in a tank. I got to get in gimmick. I got to be like AJ. Got to be cool. Fred, where's your denim shirt?
I don't have one.
Oh, well, we got to buy
What?
Fred a denim shirt. Hit us up on Super Chat. We need
How
to buy
does a
Fred a
redneck
denim
not have
shirt for next weekend.
Yeah. For a redneck who listens to NASCAR? Blasphemy. No denim. No Levi's.
Oh, yeah. So we're here, and you know I'm on fire. It's hot. It's not just hot as far as the heat wave that's hit Montreal,
Damn hot.
but I'm also pretty hot as far as mad because the Yankees are down 8-0 in the third inning, so I'm pretty pissed. So welcome to the show.
Damn.
You know?
That's not a
8-0.
good. What inning?
Third.
What inning? Woof.
Yeah,
It's going to be 16-0, man. I'll give you my prediction. 8-0 thirds. I say at that rate.
What do you know about
I say
baseball?
it's
Shut
gonna
up,
end.
AJ.
It's gonna end 13. I'll give the other team. I don't even know who they're playing. 13-1.
You're about to
13-2.
13-2. Yeah, that's how you say baseball scores. Way to go, AJ. 13-2. 13-2. Or 13-2.
Yeah, the
You
same
don't say
thing,
13-2. That's just a weird. That's like saying a team's record. You know, they're 13-2. 13 wins and 2 losses. You don't say that for a score.
Whatever,
You've
man.
never done sportscasting, obviously, AJ. I've done it.
Oh yeah.
I know what it's about. I know how to say sports words correctly. 13-2,
13
not 13-2.
2 for the other
You
team,
would
motherfucker.
fail miserably. They'd
Thanks.
take you off the air right away. I'm surprised I haven't
Fuck
taken you
that.
off. But, I stick with you because I'm loyal to a fault, I think. I think
you're
that's the
stuck.
real problem. Huh?
You're stuck. You got no choice, man.
I'm just loyal to my people,
That's what you gotta be, man.
I'm loyal to who
That's
who
right.
sticks with me and who's loyal to me.
Listen,
know?
man. I'm gonna tell you something. That's the way it's got to be, and that's why in the Ultimate Fighter with Chandler versus Conor, you got to be loyal to your team.
Wow. AJ
Right?
firing
No, I'm
off the
serious.
bat. Team
No,
Chandler
it's
has
a good way
gone
to start.
6-0. Not 6-2-0, although you could say 6-0
could.
because it is 6-0 Team Chandler, which makes Team Conor McGregor, we're talking about, 0-6. His team on the Ultimate Fighter has not won a fight. This week, he had one of his friends from Ireland, some kid he's been training since he was a child, now kind of grown up. I'm being invaded right now. And the guy lost. The guy was winning his fight. He winds up getting guillotined. What just happened here? What is this? You get your teeth
The
brushed
skins
yet?
are in.
Well, you can't have candy then. Get out of here. This guy's trying to steal candy from my desk. This
Thank
guy,
God it's only a live show.
this guy's causing trouble. He's in his underwears. He's
That's
hot,
Patty
too.
the Baddie, man. So if anybody wants to see Patty the Baddie as a child, there you go. There's
There you go.
Patty.
My invading son. The other one can't walk, so she doesn't invade yet. But as soon as she starts walking, there's going to be problems.
It's coming.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Fred.
It's coming.
Where was I? So Conor's team sucks. Conor's barely there for his team. And his guy from Ireland who was winning the fight. Like, he was beating Kurt Hollabaugh. He won the first round. He was like 90 seconds away from winning the fight. He made a mistake, caught himself in a guillotine, really stuck his neck out there and made a poor move, a mistake, got caught. Hollabaugh grabbed his neck. He's a veteran and made him tap out. And Conor just couldn't handle it. He thought his guy was going to win. It was his guy. He was really really close to victory, and it was a certain victory. Like, he for sure won the first round. He was for sure winning the second round. Conor hadn't won a fight all season. After this, there's only 2 fights left, so Conor's team has lost. Like, no matter how you slice it, you know, you could go 2-6. You could win the next 2 fights, but you've still lost 6 out of the 8 total fights on the season of The Ultimate Fighter. So Conor's team has lost, and they just keep on losing and making it worse and worse. And this week was like a heartbreaking defeat, and Conor didn't take it too well. He got real mad at Michael Chandler. He said, "I'll break your little nose, yeah." And then he grabbed him by the chin and neck and kind of shoved him. And Chandler was like, "Woohoo!" I like Chandler's reaction to it. His reaction to getting shoved was not like anger. It was like a guy on a roller coaster. He was like, "Woohoo!" He made this like high-pitched Mickey Mouse sound. I was like, what's going on with this guy? He's really into it. This guy loves to fight, you know? You see the dog in Michael Chandler when he fights, and I understood a little bit of who he is because he's very kind of mild-mannered and, you know, like he's, you know, all-American wrestling type guy, very kind of cool and very respectful. But he got shoved and the animal came out, and that animal's like, whoo-hoo, let's go. Like, this is fun, you know? He is a beast, and he was ready to fight Conor right there in the octagon, and Dana White had to come in and say, hey, guys, you and Ryan Bader, your giant friend here, need to step away. I don't know if you noticed too, but in that mini altercation that they had, Conor, one of Conor's like tall coach guys, was standing right next to Conor and Chandler, and as soon as Conor pushed Chandler, you see Ryan Bader just rush Conor's guy and push him out of the way, and the guy could do nothing. Bader's just like, move, and the guy's like, okay, Ryan Bader, whatever you say. It was crazy. Bader is such a monster. Crazy. But
what was funny was seeing like Dana like running. That was the funniest part. Seeing Dana like, oh shit, and he's running towards the octagon. But just to go back to the push there, I mean, yeah, Chandler made like sort of this kind of like, oh man, it looks like it's gonna go down. But Conor was pissed. You could see the anger in Conor, and it wasn't just a light shove. I was saying it before the show. It was a heavy shove with like intent. I mean, Conor was pissed. He took off his jacket. He was ready to go at that moment. I mean, you know, there was a lot of like people coming in and whatnot, but I'm telling you, Dana at that point was like, holy shit, this ultimate reality show is going to get real fast. And that's the thing with Conor. I thought Conor was going to lay it down, and he was pissed, man. And I'm telling you, in my opinion,
it's an act.
I think it's an act. I don't think so. I think it was pure anger. I think he was just so mad that
he barely shows up to training from what I'm reading.
I know.
He didn't show up to the weigh-ins again.
Why would he care?
Yeah, and he's not in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. So if he really cared, man, he'd be there, man. It's all in that.
Yeah. I think the humility is starting to set in on Conor. I mean, you know, you could see it in his face, for me anyways, with that shove. You know, there was intent. He was like, he's losing it. You know, he doesn't want to be perceived as that loser. And to be honest, there's only one other time when listen, there's a team of Ultimate Fighter that's won. Everyone was Team Canada versus Team Australia. Yeah. That season was all Canadian wins, pretty much.
AJ, if I may interject for a moment, okay? You're saying Conor was ready. Conor wanted it. Conor da-da-da. If he wanted to fight Michael Chandler so bad, he could be fighting him this weekend.
Yeah, you're
right. This weekend
he
could be fighting him, but he's not. You know why? Because he doesn't want to fight him. Because he knows his time is up.
Look, there's still a slight possibility for
there isn't. He's not in USADA. He's not fighting in 2023. It's a wrap. The guy's not fighting on Christmas Day, my friend. It's over. We're in July. It's July, AJ. Do you understand what month of the year July is?
No, I know, but
what month of the year is July, AJ? Pop quiz.
Yeah, what month?
7th.
July, number 6. 7.
See, that's why you think there's still a chance, because you think it's 6, AJ, and it's not. It's 7, and there's 12 months in a year, so if you do the math, and my math is shaky at best, but if you add 6 months to 7, that puts us January 2024. It doesn't put us in December of 2023. We're not in 2023 anymore. Yeah, if that's going to happen, then Conor has to enter USADA and pass his drug test for 6 straight months, and he's got to enter USADA like this month. But if he didn't enter USADA If he didn't enter USADA in January, when he started filming this show, in February, in March, in May, when the show started, wait, I skipped a month. April, May, June.
Listen,
right?
man, it's been
Why
a tough,
would he do it in July? Why would he do it in July? He's not going to fight. He's not fighting. Wolf tickets.
And we're like, listen, dude, you better start fighting. I mean, like, you know, you're losing all kinds of. He lost a contract with the Miami Heat. He had this product. I don't know if you were aware of it, but he was trying to endorse this kind of natural product that you use for bruising and like muscle pain and strains. And that was the thing that was going to. No, it was some kind of actually spray on like thing that the Miami Heat were going to use and actually promote through all their games. In fact, they're going to actually pin that. Is that what it's called? Tidal. That's right.
TIDL. I mean, it's a cryotherapy pain relief numbing spray. Yeah.
Now Conor's putting it on his nuts because he's got squashed. Because the thing is that he's having a tough month. He's lost everything, and now he's like 0-6. He better come out and fight, man. This guy needs to come out and fight. There it is. It's not happening with the Miami Heat now. So if anybody
it's all over the Ultimate Fighter. I don't know if you noticed, but there's all sorts of Proper 12 and Black Forge. You know, Proper 12 is whiskey. Black Forge Inn is pub out in Ireland. And there's a lot of Tidal stuff on the Ultimate Fighter. And I was wondering, what is Tidal? I thought that was Jay-Z's music streaming service, but that's TIDAL. This is TIDL.
Nice
and it's some sort of Conor McGregor. There's Conor there with the gimmick.
Listen, man, it's a big blow to his product. You know what I'm saying? Like, he lost big time this month. He's lost. He's facing, like, some court charges now, and he's lost the title. And, you know, a lot of money has been lost. Conor has to redeem himself, man. If he's listening to our show, man, Conor, you better, man, step into that octagon. Win or lose, man, you got to save your face.
You hear that, Conor? AJ says you need to save face. So, win or lose.
Win or lose.
Wait, how do you save face if you lose?
It doesn't matter. At least you step into the octagon.
Yeah.
Anybody really thinks he's going to prepare seriously for a fight? I mean, his head is just not in it, man.
I'll bet everything against his next fight. Against him. Next fight, he's losing. 100%.
Are there odds right now? Because, if Michael Chandler ain't a huge favorite, man, odds, like, he should be a very big favorite if there's odds out.
Future events. Holy shit. You want to hear some crazy stuff? Future events. DraftKings has odds. Caesars has odds. And FanDuel apparently have odds. This according to Best Fight Odds, which is a good site to check what's going on.
Okay.
DraftKings has it a pick'em -110 either side. You got to be kidding me. You got to put money on that. If the fight ever happens, which it won't, but if the fight ever happens, definitely put all the money on Michael Chandler. Are you kidding?
Man, I'm going the other way.
Connor's not a real fighter anymore, man. But he won't fight. He won't fight. Like, it's you know, it's like talking about Elon and Zuck, you know?
Come on, guys. Like, you know, look, I'm not happy with Connor's shenanigans in the last little while, but he's still Conor. He's still that southpaw. He's still dangerous, man.
No, he isn't.
Look, man, let's remember Cowboy Cerrone. Let's not forget that, you know? And Cowboy Cerrone is no joke. He's the beast of all beasts, man.
What?
And Conor laid him out, man.
He's retired.
Well, yeah.
And he was basically retired when he fought Conor. That was his retirement fight. He just didn't know it yet. Come on, man. What are you talking about?
Listen, man. I'm just telling you, man. Conor better, like, save face. Listen to me, Conor. Take that proper 12, stuff it in the back, get in the octagon, and save Ireland. Because now you are the snake.
Yeah, they're not going to fight. They're not going to fight. I don't think ever. I don't think Conor and Chandler ever fight. Conor will probably fight in the UFC again, but it won't be against Michael Chandler. It'll be against somebody else.
Yeah, Jake Paul or freaking Nate Diaz in some kind of weird boxing event.
Honestly,
I can see that happening.
It honestly should be against the winner of the Ultimate Fighter. Because that's about his speed right now. And that'd be a hell of a prize for the winner. You get to fight Conor McGregor. And the guy that he winds up fighting...
His team should turn on him.
His team should. Well, his team has no chance. His team keeps losing. But
Well,
like the other guys that he's fighting, like on the other team, they're all like UFC veterans because the theme of the season was veterans versus rookies, and Conor has a whole team of rookies, and Chandler took all the veterans, and all the veterans are winning. So one of these veterans who's been kicked out of the UFC and brought back for this show. What a redemption story would it be? You win a tournament, and as a bonus, when you win, you get to fight Conor McGregor. Win or lose, you become more famous, you make more money, and you're a guy who's like, you're not a world champion level like Michael Chandler or a Justin Gaethje or a Dustin Poirier. You're not super dangerous for Conor, so it's kind of a good tune-up fight for Conor to come back with. They're not doing it. I mean, that's not what's happening, but they should.
That's how Matt Serra got his shot. That's how Matt Serra got his shot to GSP. Yep. He won a similar Ultimate Fighter where it was a lot of veterans, and he ended up getting a title shot.
The comeback.
Hey, it could make sense.
Yeah. I mean, and he won. Cool. And he won, too, right? He won. And everybody's like, what the hell? That was crazy. He'd never do that again. And then, of course, George destroyed him the next time. But still, it was a great moment that made his career one of the greatest highlights of his life, I'm sure. You know, so I think it would be cool to give one of these guys in the Ultimate Fighter that type of opportunity, but they're not going to get it because Conor's not fighting anybody. He's not fighting anybody. It's really like that Zuckerberg-Musk thing. I think, honestly, after what George St-Pierre said today, that he believes the fight will happen, I think that there's more of a chance that Zuckerberg fights Elon Musk than Conor McGregor fights in 2023 or even 2024. I think Elon and Zuck fight in the UFC octagon before Conor does. How about that?
Listen, man, it's a possibility. It's a possibility, man. I mean,
George said
Elon
it's
Musk
going to
was in a
happen.
picture.
George is like, it's going to happen. George spoke today at a press conference where he announced his comeback, by the way. I mean, come on, baby. George, the king, is coming back, not to fight in the UFC. Okay, don't get too excited. But still, he's going to grapple at the Fight Pass Invitational in December. He's going to be doing some submission grappling, some jiu-jitsu against somebody.
Khabib.
Doesn't really matter. I mean, it would be cool if it was a big name like a Khabib, you're saying. You know, I doubt it. But the fact that George is going to be competing on a UFC Fight Pass thing, the fact that George is going to be competing on a televised or internet televised event in some sort of combat sport is amazing. So that's really exciting, and good job for UFC Fight Pass and the Invitational and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling and everything to get GSP into the mix. I think that is fantastic. We saw him, of course, training with John Danaher the other day, and he didn't just have
Elon
John
Musk.
Danaher. He had Lex Friedman, who's a podcaster, and also, of course, Mr.
Who is that guy?
Twitter himself, Elon Musk.
He's big, actually. I didn't realize he was that tall.
I did not realize he was so much bigger than George, but he is a large man. He may have some sort of size advantage on Zuckerberg. But this is real. This is a real picture. This is not AI generated. This is Elon really training with 3 black belts. I believe Lex Friedman is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I know that John Danaher and George St-Pierre are. Right?
But the thing is, Lex Friedman was training also with Zuck. So, I'm not. When I saw him, there's clips of Lex Friedman training with Zuck just a couple of weeks ago. So when I saw this, I went like, oh, Zuck just lost one of his black belts or something.
I think if we're being honest, there's more of a chance of them doing a jiu-jitsu match than an actual fight. I don't think that they fight. Yeah, I think they should be on the Fight Pass Invitational with George.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be
something
really
like
cool,
that.
actually.
I mean, imagine how many people would buy Fight Pass just for that. If you could only watch a grappling match between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, and on the same night, George St-Pierre was also competing, and then maybe you throw Gordon Ryan in there if you can, or somebody. If you do the Nicky Rod versus Gordon Ryan match on that night, could you imagine what that would be for jiu-jitsu? It would be massive. So, if you really want to go hard, I mean, that would be so big that you might have to take it off Fight Pass and put it on pay-per-view, but you would get a lot of subscription for Fight Pass, at least for that month, right? You would get a lot of people's $10 or $12 for the month if you put Musk and Zuck against each other.
You know what, Dave? That's a great possibility. And to be honest, I think that makes more sense than anything. Stay away from the MMA side. Nobody wants to see like blood coming out of like two guys that are CEOs. I mean, it's not like it can't happen in jiu-jitsu, but a jiu-jitsu match is actually a little bit more exciting because
I mean, I want to see them bleed through any means, really.
It's going to be a shitty fight, but in a jiu-jitsu,
I mostly don't
I mean, if
see them throw a punch because they probably don't know how to throw a punch.
They don't know how to throw a punch. It's gonna suck, but somebody's gonna get clocked. Look, I'm saying if it's a jiu-jitsu match, that could be really interesting for me because if these guys are getting trained by the best that's out there, in 6 months, if you set up this fight, when is George supposed to be fighting? In December?
December.
Listen, man, you can train these guys up to December, and it could be quite interesting, man. Elon Musk against Mark Zuckerberg, jiu-jitsu from now to December, training every day, nonstop.
Yeah.
Shit, man. You'd be surprised how good they could be.
With a size advantage, too, but like Musk is quite a bit older, but I think he's quite a bit bigger, so there's something there. And if he's training the right way with John Danaher, if you got John Danaher as your main coach, you're in the right hands. You know, you're doing well, but I mean,
you're doing privates every day?
Zuckerberg has some time on him. He's already been doing it. He's been competing in jiu-jitsu. He's been training. So who knows? But I think that makes more sense. Like a grappling match, a friendly contest in submission grappling over an MMA fight that I think would be pretty ugly.
Who should he get?
Both
then?
guys.
Who should?
Hold on. Go ahead, Fred.
Both guys have unlimited resources.
Mm-hmm.
But I get a feeling that the MMA jiu-jitsu community prefers Elon, and I think he's going to get the better coaches and the better training partners, man. I just get a feeling, man. Both guys could afford whoever they want as a coach, but I think
right now we
want to help Elon.
Are you saying that the cesspool of MMA is preferring the wild antics of Elon Musk over the more quiet, nerdy antics of Zuckerberg?
If you say but
there's other ways also to put it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to put it another way, but if you want to put it that way, that's fine. But what I'm trying to say is that if Mark is looking to put up his team, he better start looking at guys like Gordon Ryan to be on his side. He better start looking at
Gordon Ryan's with John Danaher. He's not gonna go on the other side.
So then you get
Zuckerberg should get the B team.
Money talks,
Zuckerberg should get the B team.
I don't know, man. It could be interesting. I'm just trying to think MMA wise, who would you get? Who can you get on that side? John Jones. John Jones is pretty good at jiu-jitsu, man.
I would get Damian Maia.
Can't go wrong. Oh, Damian Maia, that could be interesting.
I mean, that guy knows so much. He's so smart when it comes to jiu-jitsu. If you ever watch a Damian Maia instructional, like, man, that guy's good. Very technical, very smart. And the way he fought MMA, I think, is perfect for those guys. Like, if you're an MMA fight, if you're a Zuckerberg or a Musk, you want to win an MMA fight without really taking damage, you follow Damian Maia. I mean, that's kind of what he did. It was beautiful. Take you down, grind you out, tap you. Never take a punch, never throw a punch. You weren't hurt. Nobody was hurt. You know? He had MMA fights where he finished guys and nobody had a scratch on him. Everybody's all right. And that's how he wanted it. Man of honor.
Or you get one of the Gracies, man. A Matt Serra. Mm-hmm. Someone of that
sure. I mean, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Or George St-Pierre. You know, it seems like
George is on
Musk.
George is
so
on
you're saying who
side,
should Zuck get? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm saying like a Matt Serra or like one of the Gracies, man.
Well, doesn't he already have like a team of jiu-jitsu coaches that he's training with currently?
Yeah.
I think he should stick with them.
Yeah. I think he needs a big name, man. You need to have one big name team and then another. Obviously, Elon Musk has a pretty charged team there. Can't get any stronger. Maybe he needs a Khabib on his side.
Wasn't Zuckerberg training with Mikey Musumeci?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure he was.
He was.
Yeah,
he was.
He is.
So that's good.
So
I think that's good. He's one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world. That's a good coach. Yeah. If he's going to be there hanging out, eating pizza, yeah, that works.
Yeah, but you still need somebody with like a presence like that everybody knows. You need a Khabib. Imagine a Khabib on Mark's side. It'd be awesome, man.
Who cares?
You'd have George on one side and Khabib on the other, man. Come on, Dave.
I don't know why you want to be a pawn in somebody else's fight when you're having your own fight. You know? Why represent something else when you could be representing yourself? Anyway,
saying
Musk
both probably have like a $10 million budget for their training camp, if not $1 billion budget.
$10 billion budget.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
From now to December, someone's getting rich.
I mean,
George is making like big money.
Elon paid what, like 40-something billion for Twitter, and it's failing miserably, and he doesn't seem that worried about it. So how rich is that guy?
Miserably?
Oh, what? You don't think it's failing miserably? Have you seen Twitter over the past couple weeks? Have you been on?
Yeah, super
It's
exciting,
not going
man.
well.
A lot of stuff going on, man.
Yeah, he limited the amount of tweets you could see there for a while, Elon. That was kind of messy on Twitter. You're like, you couldn't, there was a certain, like, 600 tweets or something, and then it would just stop loading tweets. It was really weird. It was all buggy. And now, yesterday, Meta started a competitor to Twitter. Threads. Are you on Threads? I'm on Threads. Same username as all the things. Instagram and Twitter on Threads at Dave Simon MMA. You could follow me on Threads.
Put Ringside
now.
on there then.
I mean, we could do it. We could do it easily. I could do it right now. That's how easy it is to import everything from Instagram to Threads. It's linked. So easy, AJ. I'll do it tonight.
There you go.
I can do it right now. You're not on Threads. I thought you were down with the new technology, down with the program. Threads came out. Everybody was on it. I decided to get myself a Threads account, and now I'm on Threads. I thought it was a sewing magazine.
Not so cool. Would you rather be a Twitter or a tweet or a thread? Thread. Tweet.
My children's mother over here, she used to get a sewing magazine called Threads, and I think that they're kind of mad that they stole their name, you know? It's crazy. I don't really like Threads. I've been on Threads. I don't like how it looks, you know? I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Threads. So far, I went on a couple times to see what's going on. There's my dad checking in. He's on Threads. Yeah, I know.
I saw that coming. I saw
he follows me on Threads, and I follow him back on Threads because I follow him on Instagram, I think, and it follows everybody you follow on Instagram automatically. So I have all these followers on Threads that follow me on Instagram, but I'm not really threading. I'm not threatened.
You're tweeting, man. That's okay.
I'm still on Twitter. Cool. I'm still sticking with Twitter so far, but maybe Threads one day. I may go to Threads just to combat the Canadian government and their unfair business practices, you know? Have you seen that? The government's basically waging war on Meta and Google. Have you not seen that?
I saw that. You posted that on Twitter. I saw that.
Oh, there you go.
You were kind of angry, and some people started responding back to you and whatnot,
and agreeing with me because I'm correct.
Point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a point.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I put that whole Trudeau thing on Instagram. So if you want to see some boxing of Trudeau, just go to our Instagram page, our Ringside Report.
Because they made a law. The Canadian government made a law where these companies have to pay the news organizations for their content that they're putting out there, and I think that's totally nonsense because well, which news organizations? Are they paying Ringside Report if a Facebook link is posted from Ringside Report? It seems like it's just a way to help the big media companies get advertising revenue that they're losing to the big tech companies. If you have certain amount of advertising dollars for your restaurant, say, are you going to put ads on Instagram or are you going to put ads on the radio? You're probably going to put ads on Instagram. Well, who's losing out? The radio. And who owns the radio? Who owns the TV? These big media companies. So they're losing out on a lot of advertising dollars. And who's hurting them for the advertising dollars? Meta, Google, Twitter, right? So now the government's saying, well, it's not fair. It's not fair. Why is that? Because they're in the pocket of the big media companies like Bell and Videotron and all the other billionaire media companies. Well, there's basically a couple. Rogers, I guess. But the government's just in the pocket of those companies. They're not in the pocket of Meta and Google, but they want to be. So
they're like
just
the mob,
holding
man.
out. They're just holding out for more money. That's how I see it. That's how I read the situation. It seems a little
shady.
Yeah, I don't get it. And people seem to say it's all right, and nobody's really fighting it. And they're like independent journalism. I'm like, this is not helping independent journalism. It's helping big corporate media. Which do they need help? Do they need help? I don't think so. I think if they fail, they fail. Let them die. You know? Independent media is us. Ringside Report.
That's right.
The Ringside Report Network. Corporate media is goddamn useless.
That's right,
right,
man. We say it as it is, man.
You know? It's just the facts.
You say the truth.
It's just the facts, baby.
Yeah. You can like it or not, man. But we lay it on the line, man. We say what we think. We have our different opinions. But no one's paying us to say shit that we don't want to say.
Wow.
Correct?
12? No, that's correct. We say whatever the hell we want to say. Nobody censors our speech. I do try to censor AJ, though, because I know that sometimes he would say things that would get us kicked off YouTube. So I do try to censor you, but that's me. That's me. No. I censored you on the YouTube show several times where I had to say, hey, AJ, shut up, or I put you in timeout, or I just yell over you because I know you're going to say something horrible. But 15% dropping a beautiful quote. He says, the more corrupt the state, the more numerous the laws. Tacitus. He had some good ones. I know Uncle Ewan Roy was a big fan of Tacitus. I don't know if he got that from Ewan or from actual Tacitus, but I'm impressed by the dropping of the quotes. Uncle Ewan would be impressed as well, and Greg would be lost. Cousin Greg. AJ doesn't know what I'm talking about, but he's laughing anyways because he's a good sport. Shout out to Doug Hepburn.
Man, that's what it's all about.
Shout out to Miss Brooklyn Lizard. Shout out to CSL Lorne. Shout out to Johnny North. Johnny North has a good question. What's the odds on the Diaz-Paul fight, which is coming up in like a month, right? Those guys are going to box, which is crazy.
Listen,
Angelo Contagonis, member of the team. What's up, Angelo? Join.ringsidereport.net is where you want to go, just like Angelo did, if you want your name to show up in green. If you want to be a preferred member like Angelo is. If you want to call in, join.ringsidereport.net, just like Angelo. Good man.
Way to go, Angelo. Listen, back to the Diaz and Paul. Like, if you look at the clip that we have on Instagram where you see them going like face to face, holy smokes, man. Jake Paul is a lot bigger than Nate, and man, did he look like he was intimidating Nate. You know what? My whole opinion changed there. I was like, Diaz better start training because Jake Paul is. He did this like quick, like sort of like shadow box like movement on Nate Diaz. Yeah. He looked fast, he looked quick, and he looked intimidating. And he's a lot bigger than Nate. If I have to pick right now, just based on what I saw in some of the other clips of Jake Paul's gonna fucking knock out Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz better train because he doesn't know what kind of like a freight train is coming. Jake Paul is going to knock him out like he did to everybody else. Tyron Woodley, Ben Askren, everybody is going to sleep, and Nate Diaz will as well.
I think you might be right. Right now, odds have Jake Paul minus 375, Nate Diaz plus 275.
That's huge, man.
That is big.
Wow.
Real?
Jesus.
I got Nate. Nate's a much better boxer than Tyron Woodley or Ben Askren's.
Yeah, no, I agree on that, but not enough to Jake.
I mean, Jake Paul ain't that good, man.
Oof, he's getting better, Dave. Fred, he's getting better. He's getting better, dude. And his last boxing match, I mean, the kid is...
His last boxing match was awful.
Yeah, he lost to Tommy Fury, and it was pathetic.
Yeah, look.
Super bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It was really
bad.
I
liked it. It was exciting. But I'm just saying.
It was?
It's a different story. Yeah, he's fighting a boxer, man. So, like, it was just a different game, and he did pretty well. I thought he won, in my opinion, in some ways. But, look, I think he's going to beat Nate Diaz. And that's what I'm saying. Nate better not just take this lightly because Jake Paul is coming to beat him. And he will.
Yeah, I'm
telling you, take a look at our Instagram, man.
I'm sticking with Nate, though. I think Nate wins. Nate's
what?
A dog.
You went the other way? What is that, a flip-flop? You just went from one to the other. I thought you said that you were going with Jake Paul.
When did I say that?
I was pretty sure that you said that. Freddie, back me up here.
Well, you did say that maybe Jake Paul could win. You could see it happening, but you didn't pick Jake Paul.
I said, yeah, maybe. But, maybe is a lot of things. If I'm going to pick somebody, I'm going to pick Nate Diaz because he's Nate Diaz and Jake Paul is Jake Paul. I just trust who Nate Diaz is more than I trust who Jake Paul is. I'm not convinced. I'm not impressed by his performance. Okay.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed, dude.
Yankees have a better chance of winning than Jake Paul.
Dude, it's 13-0 right now.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No, I saw that.
What? Did I call it 13-2? I said 13-2, man.
It's a fourth
Freddie?
inning, though. There's still a lot of time. I don't think it finishes 13-2.
I'm going to pray to the baseball gods that nothing goes through and 2 points going for
I'm
you.
going
Who are they
to go
playing?
19-1.
2
Jesus,
points.
man.
19-1.
19-1.
That's my prediction.
You call them points?
Damn. It's going up to basketball like levels. It's okay.
You say points?
Well, 2 runs. Whatever we want to call it, man. There's still points in the end.
No. They're runs.
Oh, whatever.
I don't like that. That
Yeah.
shows you're not a baseball man. If you call them
It's the
points,
same.
you don't know how to say the words properly for baseball. You don't have it right, AJ.
All I know is right now the Yankees are not looking good.
What's
That's
a
all I
balk?
can say. I got that part. A balk is when a pitcher throws and he kind of like stops and then throws again. Kind of like he does like a very awkward move in pitching.
I mean, that's close enough. It's an irregular motion by the pitcher, you know.
Exactly what I said, man. You motherfucker. You think I don't know the game?
Pretty good. Pretty good. All
I
right.
used to be at Expos like a season ticket holder, man.
Yeah, but you don't know
Where's
that
my,
they're called
where's my
runs.
Expos hat?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm
you know what I'm
skeptical.
talking about, bud.
You've claimed
Where's
to
my
have baseball
hat?
knowledge and be an Expo season ticket holder, but Freddie and I are skeptical about it because every time baseball
Where is
comes
it?
up, you seem like foreign to the concept. So I don't know. I got to check in with
because
you
I'm
every once in a
focusing
while.
on MMA, man. I'm focusing on the MMA side. But anyways, you could call it runs or points or whatever you want to call it. They're losing, but that I know. 13-2, my prediction.
Shut up, AJ.
I'm not changing. Freddie, 19-1.
All right, UFC 290. Should we get into it? What are we doing?
Yeah, man.
19-1.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah. Okay, we got Volkanovski and Yair Rodriguez in the main event. Of course, Yair is the interim featherweight champion, smashing right through Josh Emmett back in February. Volkanovski is the actual featherweight champion. The reason there's an interim is because Volk went up, fought Islam Makhachev, suffered his first UFC loss in that fight, a very close decision to the 155-pound champion. Volk back down to 145. Volk, 34 years old, has been in the UFC since 2016, has been a pro now for 11 years, started in May 2012. He's gone up in weight. He's coming back down. He's fighting a man 4 years his junior in Yair Rodriguez. Yair, 30 years old, has been a pro for about the same amount of time in the UFC for a couple more years, actually, than Volkanovski. Yair's been in the UFC. Yair had 6 fights outside the UFC and then got a UFC contract back in 2014. And now 15-3 as a pro. These guys have been around. Volk, though, a little bit older. Does that mean anything to you at 34? I don't think it does either.
Not at all. Not at
34, though. 34 is like where it starts to creep in. Like 34, 35. Once you're on the wrong side of 35, you get to be 36. Then the wheels start to fall off. Right? Like we've seen great champions, dominant for a long time, fall off to a younger guy because, you know, things happen and you've been fighting a long time and your body just kind of breaks down. Volk was a pro rugby player before. I just wonder at what point does Volkanovski stop? At what point does Volkanovski run into a top challenger that he doesn't beat? Because so far we haven't seen it. He's been so dominant at 145 that he's gone up to 155, fought Islam Makhachev, and had a really close one of it. But this is not that fight. This is a different fight. This is a different opponent. This is a very different style, different stakes on the line. I wonder about the motivation for this fight for Volkanovski. He's been through so many featherweight challengers. Does he really care about Yair Rodriguez that much?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder. I wonder.
Volk is hungry.
I wonder how long it lasts, though, right? Because does it last another year? Another 2 years? I doubt it lasts 3, right? Like,
yeah.
What
you know what I'm saying?
His run?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got 5 title defenses right now, and I'm looking quick. I think Aldo had 8 title in a row defenses. So
started
he's
younger.
getting close to. Yeah, but I mean, he's Volk is getting close to the discussion of maybe the greatest featherweight, man. He might already be in that discussion. So I think he has a lot of motivation. And when I see him, I see a guy that's hungry. So I expect him to be at his best and to perform. I got him winning and winning decisively. It might be by decision, but I think he's going to be dominating most of that fight. So I got Volkanovski, and he's one of the greats, man. He's going to have an argument for best featherweight ever, and this is just another win for him to get there.
I think you might be right. You might be right. And, like, I'm talking now like I'm going to pick Yair Rodriguez, but I think I'm going with Volkanovski as well. I think Volkanovski wins the fight. He's just so well-rounded. And I think he's going to be able to take the fight to the ground when he needs to if he gets in trouble with Yair Rodriguez on the feet. I think that's where Yair has the biggest threats, standing up. He's got some amazing kicks. He's got some highlight knockouts. He's a very talented stand-up fighter. On the ground, he's got a pretty good guard, but I think Volkanovski is going to be able to nullify that. I think Volkanovski winds up winning the fight. I think it goes to decision, though, too. I don't think he puts Yair away.
Look, you got a point there because
away, but I think he wins a decision. But the thing is with Yair is what I'm trying to get to here is that I think Yair, could knock him out very easily. Like it could happen because Yair is a beast and he's getting better all the time.
Well, look, like just quickly to what you're saying. I mean, if you're going to look at like the Max Holloway fight with Rodriguez, he got taken down 3 times by Max, and Volkanovski is way better in taking down people than Max Holloway. Let me tell you, it's not like we haven't seen this before. Volkanovski's fought him 2 times. He fought Max 2 times and won both. So when you're looking at Rodriguez, yeah, he's super dangerous. This guy, man, like you got to be careful because he finishes a lot of people in like a split second. Like the guy can take you out, knock you out. The thing is that with Volk, and you know what? He's not wild. He has a good fighting IQ, Rodriguez. But Volkanovski is so much better in every way, shape, or form, than Rodriguez. I don't think Rodriguez is going to be the guy to take away the title from Volkanovski. Volkanovski is going to be there for a couple more years. I hope he retires, man. With as a champ. The guy is amazing, man. He's done so much, man, from his rugby career to fighting in the UFC and his title defenses and whatnot. And the way, man, he's fought, man, it's been so impressive. And let's look at it. Rodriguez lost to Max Holloway. Volkanovski's beat him twice. And it's going to go to the ground. I'm pretty sure it's going to end up in the ground. I think it's not going to be any knockout. I think it's going to go to a decision, but it's going to be pretty much a unanimous decision for Volkanovski.
All right. So we are unanimous here, all picking the champion Volk. Alex Volkanovski to get the win here this weekend. Taking a look at the Bet99 odds. Of course,
Dave, just one last thing.
Volkanovski minus 400, the favorite. Yair plus 300, the dog.
Yeah. I mean, anything can happen, but if you look in the last 3 years for Rodriguez, the last 2 years, he's 2-1, man. So it's not like he has it's that great, of a dominance in a sense. He's only had 3 fights in 2 years. I don't know, man.
They've been good, though.
It's going to be, yeah, they were okay.
Last couple fights. I mean, Brian Ortega, who got hurt.
Yeah, but you had a broken down Brian Ortega, an Ortega with no shoulder. So let's be honest, Volkanovski, man, is just one tough Tasmanian devil, man. This guy it's a different game. I don't think Rodriguez is going to be able to be the one that takes the belt away from Volkanovski.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think Volkanovski loses here on Saturday. I've got Volkanovski.
And for some people, they look at him as the best pound-for-pound fighter,
Yeah, so, I mean, he's very, very good. He's very good. But again, man, I just look at it from a statistical standpoint and how fight careers and great champions go. And usually when you hit 34, 35, things start to slow down for you, especially in the lighter weight classes, man. You know, like
Yeah,
he's fighting
I
at
agree.
145. He's not fighting at 205 here. He's not fighting at heavyweight. He's fighting at 145 where the quickness and the reflexes have got to be really sharp. And once you start getting a little bit older, it slows down.
Well,
it's not a negative
exactly
towards
it.
Volkanovski. It's not a negative towards anybody. It's the fact of life. It's the fact of MMA fighting. It's the fact of the UFC. If you're not aware of this, then you're not paying attention. But once you hit 35, you get over 35. I mean, look at Usman. Usman was dominant. He hit like 36 years old. It was, he lost to Leon Edwards twice. And now, I think the run at the top as champion is over for Usman. And who knows? Maybe he makes another run and he gets another fight. But I don't think he's ever champion again. I think, everybody has their time. Everybody has their expiration date. And that's just the fact of the matter.
But we were talking about that a couple of weeks back, like talking about like the difference between heavyweights and lightweights and featherweights and middleweights and whatnot. And you're right. Like as soon as you start hitting like that mid mark, the 34, 35, 36 mark in weight classes that are lighter, the reason why fighters start losing their groove is because of the speed. Their speed is not there. What made them so great. In heavyweights, speed is not the factor. Power is it. And that's why these guys could be older in their 40s, mid-40s, even close to 50, still fighting at heavyweight and still being dominant because they don't need that speed factor like the lighter weight divisions do. And that's what happens. And there's a lot more wear and tear, per se, in those divisions. I mean, when they do 5 rounds, man, it's 5 rounds of a dogfight. In the heavyweight, man, you don't see it going the distance a lot of times. It's a different game. So when that speed factor is gone, so someone like Volkanovski being in the featherweight division, if he loses that speed that he's had for the last couple of years, you got to start looking at maybe my time is coming, and we'll see that, as the fights come about. Like we'll see what happens with Rodriguez, but I think Volkanovski's speed is still there. I think his timing is still there, but you're right. He's getting to that mark where things might start to slow down.
Yeah, I don't think it's Saturday, but it might be the next Saturday he fights. I don't think it's this guy, but if Topuria gets a fight against Volkanovski, like, he might be the guy. I think Volkanovski is great. He's a legend. I'm not trying to take anything away from him here, guys. I'm just saying we need to prepare ourselves for the possibility that he does lose on Saturday night. Because Yair Rodriguez, at 30 years old, Volkanovski at 34, Volkanovski's closer to the end of his career than Yair is. And usually when you hit 29, 30, 31... that's your peak, which is so crazy because the peak, the best years of a fighter usually follow, it's like you're 29, 30, 31, you're at your best. You're 32, you're 33, you're doing good, you're kicking ass. You're 34, you're all right. You're 35, it's slowing down. You're 36, it's fucking over. It's a short window. In the span of 6 years, you're at your best to not. It happens. And Johnny North checking in going, Couture was at his best late in his career. Yeah, okay. First of all, 2 things, John. AJ, come on. Be real. 2 things.
He was still...
he was at heavyweight and light heavyweight, different weight divisions, and you see the heavyweights now, they can have success when they're older. It's because they're a little slower. You can see the punches coming a little bit better, and your reaction times don't have to be as sharp. B, that was pre-USADA Randy Couture. Come on, man. There was no USADA. There was no drug testing back then. Dan Henderson looked real good late in his 30s and his early 40s. Vitor Belfort, there was a lot of guys doing that back then, but it was a different era. Higher weight classes was one, but also there was no drug testing, and people were on TRT. And we know that people were on TRT, and Couture was on something you would imagine at that point. I mean, I don't know exactly, but
we saw that.
You could guess by looking at him.
Well, Belfort's a good example. I mean, if you're going to say any name.
We know Vitor was on something.
Pre-UFC, and then and Belfort coming back to the UFC as, no TRT. And then going into Bellator.
Yeah,
whatever. TRT, Vitor, I mean, it's like, damn.
Let me tell you something about this fight with Volkanovski and Yair Rodriguez. I'm not betting on Volkanovski. Because at minus 400, that price is garbage. You might as well throw a couple bucks on Yair Rodriguez because he might win. He might win. Yair Rodriguez, by knockout, plus 700. I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying? A couple bucks on that. Like, hey, there's a good chance that happens. Volkanovski by decision is the most likely outcome, plus 105. Will the fight go the distance? Here's a pick'em. What do you think, Fred? Will the fight go the distance? Minus 120 on either side. Help us out.
Yeah, I got Volkanovski by decision.
There you go.
I'm not going to put him on my parlay either because I feel the odd doesn't really boost my parlay that much. But I'm pretty confident. I think he wins. I'm a big fan of his, and I'm among those that think he is in the top 2 or 3 pound-for-pound fighters right now. And I don't think his run is over. I think this guy's a monster. And you talk about like pre-USADA and whatever, man, this guy just looks like a monster right now at 35.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
I still have confidence in him.
It's amazing that he's passing drug tests. He looks so jacked. Like, what is he doing? He's just training. He's just a physical freak, man. Volkanovski is one of the best in the world, one of the best pound for pound. And, yeah, I think he wins on Saturday. I think this is going to be another victory for Volkanovski, but, I'm not super confident. I am not that confident. Like, Fred is confident in Volkanovski, and I think he'll win, but I wouldn't put any kind of money on it, and I wouldn't put him on my parlay because Yair is a scary underdog. He's a risky underdog. All right. Co-main event. It's an interesting fight. Alexander Pantoja taking on Brandon Moreno for the UFC flyweight title. Pantoja has defeated Moreno twice, but sits as a plus 166 underdog. Brandon Moreno minus 209 the favorite. So Pantoja beat him on The Ultimate Fighter, finished him on The Ultimate Fighter, tapped him, and then fought him again in the UFC and beat him by decision. That was a 3-rounder. This is a 5-rounder. And again, I think age should be mentioned when we're talking about this fight. Brandon Moreno is 29 years old now. When he fought Pantoja, it was 2018. So that's 5 years ago. The guy's 24 years old. It's a 24-year-old guy fighting a 28-year-old guy. And there's a difference there. Pantoja's 33 now. 5 years ago, he's 28, right? Do the math. I did it. So I think that plays a factor, because Brandon Moreno at 24 is nowhere near the fighter that he is at 29, right? He's had 5 years to evolve. And like we said, 29, 30, 31, that's when you're hitting your peak of fighting. So I don't think we've really even seen the best version of Brandon Moreno. The last time we saw him fight, he looked like the best version of Brandon Moreno, put a beating on Davison Figueiredo. Like the first couple fights with Figueiredo, right, they had 3 fights and they were all close. All of them were close. Well, I guess the second one wasn't because he submitted Figueiredo. But it was a closer fight. Like the first couple rounds were close and then Moreno tapped him in the third. But the fight after that, super close decision that went Figueiredo's way. Then they had another fight. And it was like, what happened to these guys? Because, like, Brandon Moreno just beat the hell out of Figueiredo. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brandon Moreno in the last fight was so much better than Figueiredo. It was like, well, did something happen to Figueiredo, or is just Brandon Moreno improving at such a fast rate that he's able to do this? So I was very impressed with Moreno last time around, and I think he wins the fight. I think the odds makers are correct in picking Brandon Moreno, even though Pantoja has 2 wins over him, and Pantoja's done well. He's won 3 in a row. But, he's also lost a decision to Figueiredo. He's also lost a decision to Askar Askarov. And I think that Moreno's going to have enough skills overall, especially the speed and the athleticism. He's just so quick, and he's got power. He's got great finishing instincts on the ground. I got Moreno. I'm not sure how he wins, though. I'm not sure if he wins by knockout or submission, but I don't think this fight goes the distance. I think Moreno does get a finish. All right, Moreno. Freddie, who you going with? Co-main event.
I'm going to look, Pantoja having 2 wins is something to think of, but I agree. I think Moreno was young back then, and that last loss was 4 years ago. So he has evolved enormously since. So I feel like Moreno is the better fighter today out of the two. But this could be a good fight, man. When you have 2 wins against somebody, look at when Pereira and Adesanya, he had 2 wins in kickboxing, and I think that mentally helped him in that fight where he beat Adesanya. And I could see that happening also, where Pantoja having 2 wins says like to himself, man, I got this guy's number. So this fight, it can be dangerous, but I got Moreno. I've been a fan of his rise to the top. He's a fun fighter to watch. He's very energetic, and I think he's evolved a lot, both his striking and his grappling. So I'm gonna go with Moreno to keep the title. And that last win against Figueiredo was very impressive, as you said. That was like a breakout performance. So the only thing that would scare me is that within the last 3-4 years, he's only fought Figueiredo and Kai Kara France once. So, maybe he hasn't seen enough variety of opponents, but I feel pretty confident that he's going to win this week.
AJ, who you got?
Look, man, like you were saying, like Pantoja has beaten the champ twice in 2016 and 2018. The thing with Moreno, man, since 2018, the guy's been 7-1-2 in the last 10 fights. The guy is at a different level. I mean, even though he's fought the same guys over and over again, they were dogfights, man. And Moreno comes out and he's like gotten so much better. The thing with Pantoja is that you can't finish this guy. So if you can't finish this guy, I think it's going to go the distance. I don't think I'm going to see. Look, if anything happens, Pantoja is the type of guy that could probably beat Moreno by a submission. But I think Moreno is going to try to keep this game standing. He's going to probably go the distance. It was a hard one for me. I was going back and forth, man. Pantoja, okay, he's older, hard to finish, super dangerous fighter. But then when you look at Moreno's last fight, holy smokes, man, this guy is like exceptional. He's at a point where he's just coming into the peak of his game.
Yeah.
At 29 years old, this fight that's coming up is a dangerous fight. But it's going to be a very different fight that he fought at 2016, that he fought in 2018. Pantoja's fought a lot of high-level guys since. But the thing with Moreno is he's coming into stride. And it was a hard one, but I'm going with Moreno on this one. I think he's going to be able to pull it off. I think it's going to go the distance. I really think it's not going to end early. If anything happens, it's because Moreno lost by submission. That doesn't happen in the first couple of rounds. It's going the distance, and it's going to be an interesting fight. It's a good one, man.
It is.
Pantoja is an amazing fighter.
Yeah.
But
it's a good fight, man, and there's a reason why they're doing it again. After having it a couple times already in the octagon, they're doing it again because Pantoja's the number one contender, and I think it's going to be a fun, exciting fight. But I think they're really going to let it all hang out there. And if you look at the odds, total rounds over 3.5 minus 163, under 3.5 plus 128. I like the under. I think plus 128. I think it goes under 3.5 rounds. I don't think it goes past the midway point of the fourth round. Will the fight go the distance? Yes, plus 105. No, minus 150. So odds makers don't think the fight will go the distance, but they do think that it'll go over 3.5 rounds. So they're thinking that fight will end in the last 7.5 minutes of the fight, which is an interesting way to point the money. Speaking of pointing the money, Patrick C. Hamilton has got a bet for us, dropping the 777 Super Chat. He is the Super Chat leader of the night. He says he's putting $5 on Valentine because Trading Places. I don't understand Trading Places. I think that's a movie, right? I don't know.
Trading Places was the best, man.
I don't get the reference, but he's putting $5 on Valentine, who stepped in. He says the odds are crazy. If he wins, it'll be big money. And that is true. Bo Nickel, a highly touted prospect, will be taking on Valentine Woodburn, who took this fight on a couple days' notice after Trayshawn Gore had to pull out. I think he's got a torn ligament in his wrist. He's hurt. He couldn't fight, and they bring in Valentine Woodburn, who is 7-0, has more MMA experience than the 4-0 Bo Nickel, does not have the wrestling background that Bo Nickel has, obviously. But if you see highlights of this guy, he's dangerous. He hits like a truck. He's got some power. I don't know if he's going to be
Bo Nickel, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be
probably the greatest wrestler in the UFC or in the world right now. He's like up there.
But what about
MMA?
MMA?
The Black Chris Moutinho. That's what he is.
Yeah. You know what?
Who?
Pat,
What's
sorry,
that guy's
man.
name?
And I love
He's the
Eddie
Black
Murphy.
Chris Moutinho.
Who's
you
that?
Remember when Sean O'Malley needed an opponent and they found this guy that they drove around. This is what I heard from my sources, but the UFC drove on that big boulevard and they picked up somebody that looked like a fighter and offered him a contract.
No.
That's how Chris Moutinho got to know.
That can't be
I'm pretty
true.
sure my sources are right.
Wow. I'm sure they are. Better than AJ's sources somehow. But, okay, what... Bo Nickel needs to get that takedown. If he gets hit in the face, who knows? The thing is with Bo Nickel is that he is kind of an unknown because we haven't really seen him tested in an MMA fight. He gets quick takedowns and he chokes people or he throws some punches. Like he won his first MMA fight by knockout in 30 seconds. He won his second MMA fight on Dana White's Contender Series in 62 seconds by taking a guy down and submitting him. He won his third MMA fight in 52 seconds by taking a guy down and submitting him. And then he won his last fight in just under 3 minutes by taking a guy down and submitting him. But
that's what he's going to do again.
Yeah, I mean, he should be able to do that. The problem is, if he gets punched in the face, I'm not really sure how he reacts. I'm not really sure how he reacts to a big power shot. We don't know because he hasn't been there. So to put him as a gigantic favorite like he is, I think is risky. I think it's risky to bet on him. There's no point in betting on him at minus 2,500. He's the biggest favorite on this card. And at plus 1,100 for Woodburn, I get why Patrick would put a couple bucks on him. Why wouldn't you? If he wins, it's gigantic money. And if he loses, so what? There's no point. If you're going to bet this fight, you got to bet Woodburn. Because if you're going to bet this fight, you bet on nickel. I mean, what's the point? You're going to make nickels off this. You bet $50, you make 5 cents. There's no point,
Yeah,
I get Patrick's point. I know you're behind Bo Nickel. Yeah, logic says he wins, but I've seen a lot of prospects come and go in the UFC. I've seen a lot of hype, and I've seen that hype get derailed because UFC is real. It's not hype. Sometimes the guy that's supposed to win doesn't. And sometimes the highly touted wrestler who smashes people and takes people down runs into a guy who stuffs a takedown and throws a knee, and then they go to sleep. I mean, it happens, guys. It happens. Let's not act like, it doesn't happen. Come on.
No, I mean,
and the guy's 7-0. He's not
like
a total jabroni. He's 7-0. He's coming in. He's taking the fight.
Yeah.
I think he probably gets taken down and submitted in the first round. But... I mean, I wouldn't bet on Bo Nickel doing that because what's the point? You make no money.
Listen, you're coming, and I agree with you. Anything can happen, man. When you're coming into a short notice fight, things could go wrong really fast because your preparation, your camp is based on one opponent, and then things have to change at the last minute. I mean, your whole psychology has to be rewired in a very short period of time. So that's why that would probably be very detrimental to a guy who's an all-round fighter. But when you got one of the best wrestlers in the world, you're coming up against your first fight against a guy who's not only good at wrestling, he puts great to a greater level of wrestling. That's where you're going to focus on. And that's what he's going to need to do. Because because of his talent in just that aspect of the mixed martial art game of wrestling, he's going to take down Valentine. He's going to put him in a death clutch, and he's going to submit him in a very, very short time. Because that's the thing. If it was just a mixed martial art thing, the lucky shot, that lucky punch couldn't happen. But when you're going up against Bo Nickel, man, your very first fight, I'm sorry to say, man, unless Bo Nickel trips, on water as he steps out to fight and cracks his head, it's not happening. It's going to be a wrestling clinic right from the beginning. He's going to throw that punch. Bo's going to take him down and then basically suffocate him and make him realize that, oh shit, why did I take this fight? It's a bad one, man. the best wrestler in the world, Bo Nickel. Bon chance, mon ami.
All right. I think he probably wins too. I think Bo Nickel probably wins, but
Probably.
yeah, it's not worth betting on. Speaking of bets, I want to get to some bets here. Rest of the card, we got Robert Whittaker taking on Dricus du Plessis. Whittaker is a pretty big favorite, minus 400. Dricus, undefeated in the UFC. Young man, a lot of power, dangerous guy. Whittaker knows he's dangerous. I think Whittaker wins, but don't sleep on Dricus. I mean, you might want to put a couple on Dricus at plus 300. I think he's worth a look. Jalen Turner and Dan Hooker. I'm going to put Turner on my parlay. I like him in a major way to get the victory over Dan Hooker. And speaking of my parlay, I'm going to give you a real simple, easy money-making parlay. I'm going to put 20 on it to win 37. It's not a huge payout, but you know what? It's money, and it's doubling your money pretty much. So do with it what you will, but I think this will double your money and give you some nice returns here at UFC 290. I'm going with Nico Price over Robbie Lawler. It's Robbie's retirement fight. We all know how retirement fights go. You tend to lose them. You do the JOB on the way out, and Nico Price is a tough one. So I got Nico, and I've got Jalen. It's a Nico and Jalen combo parlay. 20 gets you 37.38 at bet99.com. Minus 116 betting odds. I'll double my money on Saturday. I'll take that. UFC 90. That's a Team Dave parlay. I'm keeping it very simple.
How much does it pay out again?
It's not much, man. 20 to get you 37.38. Okay? It's not one of these crazy long shot AJ parlays, but you know what? I think you're going to win money off this. I think there's easy money to be made with this parlay. So go for it.
I like that. No, I think it's going to pay off.
Put however much you want on it. I put 20 and I doubled it. You could put 500 and double it. You could put 200 and double it. Whatever you feel like doing, I think you'll wind up just about doubling your money with that parlay, Price and Turner. Okay? Fred, you got a nice little parlay for me? Something that'll pay out? Because I'm going to bet your parlay too.
I hope you're wrong because I want Robbie to win, man. I know he's on a very bad streak. Yeah, but Nico Price not that good, man. Maybe Robbie is able to win. We'll see. But my parlay is simple also. I'm going with a 2-fight parlay. I'm going to go with Jalen Turner and Brendan Moreno. He's about the same as.
Nice. There's Team Fred. Turner and Moreno. Look at us. We like Jalen Turner in a major way here on Saturday, right? Both putting him on our simple parlays. We think Turner is a lock over Dan Hooker. Turner minus 286. Moreno minus 209. 20 gets you 39.96 at bet99.com with the Team Fred parlay. Turner and Moreno. AJ, what kind of ridiculous parlay you have for me?
No, I mean, I agree with you with the Jalen Turner because, like, youth is going to win over, like, age and a lot of wear and tear. And if you look at Dan Hooker, he's 2-4 in his last fight with 3 losses by finish. It's going to be tough because Jalen Turner, man, he is dangerous. He's 5-1. It's going to be a tough night for Hooker, but I'm going with Jalen Turner on that. I'm going to start from the top, and I'm going with Volkanovski for the win over Rodriguez. I'm going with Moreno for the win as well. But then I'm going to kind of change it up, guys. I mean, you know, coming to Robert Whittaker, one of probably the second best 185er in the world. Mm-hmm. You know, like the guys he's fought, man, you're looking at Asanya, Romero, Cannonier, Vittori, Jacare. The guy has seen it all.
I'd say third
But the
best.
thing with du Plessis,
I mean, Pereira beat Adesanya. You got to give it to him.
Okay. So, good point. Fair enough. So, the third best.
Yeah. But
this du Plessis,
I wouldn't put Whittaker. Like, I think Whittaker might be able to beat Pereira, but Pereira's fighting in 205 now. Anyways, it's not the point. Dricus is good, man. You picking Dricus or what?
He's dangerous.
Richard Dricus?
Listen, man. The thing with Dricus is that he comes in hard, man. He's going to come in like a car crash, a freight train. If Whittaker, and the thing with Whittaker is that there's been a lot of wear and tear on Whittaker over the years, man. Everything from his surgeries, to having bad injuries at camp and whatnot. Whittaker is up there in age. What is he? 32 years old? 33 years old? Yeah. So he's just at that point now when things can go bad. And the thing is that du Plessis, man, this guy is coming in like a freight train, man. Dangerous fighter. I don't want to go against Whittaker, but I have a feeling it's going to be du Plessis that's going to take this fight. So I'm going for du Plessis with the win.
Yeah,
He's powerful, dude.
I think Duplessis might win too. I think old Drake might win. Yep. Okay, what else you got here?
And I don't want to see that because I love Whitaker, but you know what, man.
Cool. Give me the rest of your parlay.
And then I'm going to go with Jalen Turner. I told you, Jalen Turner for the win over Dan Hooker.
Bo Nickel.
I love Dan Hooker as well. And then Bo Nickel, man. I think Bo Nickel is going to – doesn't matter if this guy steps in.
Okay.
Within 24 hours, Bo Nickel's going to do what Bo Nickel does. He's going to pancake this poor guy.
And that's your 5-fight main card parlay? You're done?
Yes, sir. I'm done. Bo Nickel.
There's Team AJ's 5-fight main card parlay. Volkanovski minus 400, Moreno minus 209, Dreykus plus 300, Turner minus 286, and Nickel minus 2,500. 20 gets you 211.94. Big payout on the Team AJ parlay there. Not too bad.
I like it. Not too bad.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I could see all those fights coming through. Yep. All right, Fred, you got a NASCAR update? You know, I watched a little NASCAR last week. They were in the streets. They were in the streets of a city.
Chicago.
Yeah, it was cool.
No.
I like the backdrop.
The guy was in his first NASCAR race ever, and he won. And that's the first time since like 1967 or something that a guy making his NASCAR debut won the race. So
why would who?
Shane Van Gisbergen, something like that. He's from New Zealand.
But isn't it like NASCAR has a season, right?
Yeah, but okay, so this is how it works. NASCAR has 36 charter teams, which are basically franchises. There's 36 guys. They're doing every race.
Right.
Now, currently, NASCAR allows up to 40 cars per race. So there's 4 spots available for independent guys that just want to race a race here and there. And that's why Jenson Button last week was racing and other guys. So this guy, Van Gisbergen, he was driving for Trackhouse Racing, which owns 2 teams. They own the Ross Chastain team, and they own the Daniel Suarez team that are full-time, and they have a part-time team that they'll use here and there. So that's how it happens.
I see. So he's like a backup?
Well, I mean, the
like
guy is it's more of a part-timer. The guy is a supercar champion in New Zealand, which is like the biggest street circuit and road course racing over there. So the guy is a very talented road course racer. And NASCAR only does road courses 6 times out of the 38 races they do in a season. So when they go to a road course, you'll have what they call a road course ringer come in. And often they'll be competitive because these guys, that's what they do all year. And NASCAR, they only do it 6 times a year. So it's been like that for a while. And back in the days, they only had 2 road courses a year in NASCAR. Now they have 6. They brought it up. But yeah, road course ringers, when they come to road course racing, they tend to do well. That's their domain.
So could this guy just come in for 6 races a year and just win all of them and then go back to New Zealand?
He could, but there's rumors that he might be racing full-time next year for them. And if you look back here, Patrick Carpentier, a long time ago, he finished second when they came to Montreal in the Busch Series. And that performance, he got after that, I think, a contract for a year. He was driving the 10 car. So sometimes if you can win or be competitive, that's enough to convince somebody to give you a shot. And the way that the NASCAR season works, if you win a race during the regular season, you're part of the playoffs. But to be part of the playoffs, you have to run the whole season. So that guy, Van Gisbergen, he's not in the playoffs because he's not driving the entire season. But next year, if he gets a ride for the entire season and he wins just 1 race, that means he's in the playoffs. So he's interesting for a lot of people.
Huh.
Wasn't Carpentier and Villeneuve like racing at the same time at one point, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah. They were both racing the Montreal races. And
yep.
I don't know. I think there's respect, man. But yeah, that was great.
It's a whole world, man. The racing world, like there's so many different racing leagues. You know, like there's F1, is IndyCar a thing? They kind of look like F1 cars, but different, right? They're like smaller or something. I don't know.
There's all kinds. There's the electronic races. I mean, there's like the E Series or whatever you want to call it. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
But NASCAR is NASCAR. NASCAR is at a different level, man. You know,
But there's not.
It's like,
but
it's like
NASCAR
the
is
UFC,
like kind of
it's
the
like
brand
the
name.
UFC with wheels.
There's other stock car racing, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, listen, Freddie. What
NASCAR
happened with,
is the main one.
Right. It's the major leagues, but there's minor league stock car racing around the states, right?
AJ, why you gotta be so like? Why you want?
No,
why
but you know what? Like,
the
there
show
was like
there?
that whole.
What did he say?
No, man. Like Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy
There was a whole, like,
Johnson.
I was trying to get.
Because
There was a lot of drama.
Look, it has nothing to do with NASCAR, but AJ needs to talk about it, so I'll mention it. Jimmy
Well, 'cause
Johnson,
he didn't race.
his wife, unfortunately, his wife's mother shot her husband, which is the father of his wife, also shot another member of the family and then committed suicide. It's a very sad story, but has nothing to do with NASCAR, man.
Well, it's because he didn't race in Chicago. That's what I was trying to say. Is that like he obviously like you know, but it was just a pretty sad tragedy
like
happened,
that.
You know?
Oh, yeah,
No,
it's horrible.
and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, NASCAR, man. If they're not fighting, there's a lot of like stories that happen in that world, man. Just like the UFC.
But that
with
has
Conor.
nothing to do with NASCAR. That has more to do with mental
No, it
health,
doesn't.
Which
for
is
sure.
very
You know,
sad.
but
Sad
just to say why
situation.
Jimmy
I don't
Johnson
know
wasn't
why
in
we're talking
Chicago,
about
man.
I mean, we
Man,
like to
we-
keep it
we
light with the
former members.
NASCAR updates. Like, we like to talk about who won the race, what's happening, maybe a little controversy here and there, but not like
Well, here, let me end it. How's
murder,
Bubba doing?
suicide. Like, it's not fun. Jeez.
How's Bubba?
Bubba had a rough race in Chicago, but Bubba is not having a great season, unfortunately for Bubba.
It's going to get ugly in here. Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat says, thanks, boys. Dave, on your Ringside Shorts, the short videos that we've been putting out. Hope you're enjoying the Ringside Shorts.
Yeah.
Thanks to the team. We need to promote my impressions as well. My Kendall Roy is great. Apparently, I do a good Kendall Roy impression. I don't actually recall doing a Kendall Roy impression.
Don't be spoiling me, though. I just started season 4.
I mean,
I'm really hoping that he finishes as a crackhead. I'm not reading any YouTube comments, so you could. I'm not even on YouTube right now. Spoil me if you want. I won't read it.
Well, Doug didn't want to be spoiled either. Doug asked that we not spoil him. I won't.
Oh, sorry.
Spoil you.
But I'm not spoiling. I'm hoping. I have no knowledge. I'm just hoping that Kendall finishes like a crackhead. Fuck Kendall.
I got my brother a Kendall Roy T-shirt for his birthday.
I'll say also fuck Shiv. Shiv is a bitch, man.
So you're pro Roman. How shocking.
No, I don't even know about that, so don't spoil me. But I'm more pro Tom. Shiv is a fucking bitch.
I did the Kendall with my brother on Money in the Bank post show. That makes sense. My brother and I are big Kendall fans. I got my brother a Kendall T-shirt for his birthday. It's pretty sweet.
Kendall's a crackhead.
Kendall's great. I love Kendall. Let's get into it. That's my Kendall impression.
Logan Paul, number 1.
So, yeah.
AJ has no clue what we're talking about.
Logan Paul, number 1. Logan Roy, AJ. Logan Roy. Do you know what we're talking about?
No, he doesn't.
No. He doesn't. He doesn't want to answer. AJ, when he doesn't know what we're talking about, he like stays quiet because he wants to be in on it, but he knows he's not. It's okay, AJ.
I know when to stay quiet, man. Listen,
No,
on
you
another
don't.
thing, there was another wrestler that passed away. Like, you got to give
what?
Remember Puke? I actually remember that guy.
Oh,
from
okay.
the
We
wrestling
talked about
days.
it last week on the wrestling show.
Did you?
AJ, yeah.
I missed it, man. AJ
Yeah,
was
okay.
busy last
Well,
week.
so fucking
It was
watch
Lucy's
Wrestling
birthday. It was all kinds of
Uncensored and
stuff.
stop bothering me with shit that's like a week and a half
I bet
old.
$100 that AJ doesn't even know the guy's real name.
Of course not.
I do. I remember it was some Polish name. Some like. Let me remember his name. I
You
do
don't
remember.
know.
Shut up, AJ.
Druzinski or something like that, or something like
Yeah,
that.
Brzezinski.
Yeah, Druzinski.
Was that right?
Yeah, sure.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
exactly.
right.
Yeah,
You got it.
exactly.
Man,
Good
someone
job,
tell
AJ.
me.
I like your $100.
Yeah, you did it again. You pronounced the name
That's what
correctly
she
once
said.
again, as you
Oops.
always do.
Britney Spears, man. But what's his name? Say it.
What's wrong with Brittany, man? Why is she
Did she
getting
get hit?
smacked in the
Yeah,
face?
she got punched out. Eh?
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Who hit
She got
Brittany?
slapped out by
Somebody's bodyguard?
somebody from Yeah, the bodyguard of Victor Wembanyama. There, this
Who?
#1 draft. This Frenchman.
Wembanyama?
He's from France.
Oh.
He did it
He's
again.
like 7'5", like super lanky. He got drafted #1.
God.
Supposed to be the talent since LeBron, they say.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know.
Victor Wabanabe.
We'll see.
Is he Japanese?
But what the hell did
French.
Britney Spears trying to do? She tried to like make out with the guy or what?
Try to get his attention or something, and the fucking bodyguard just smacked her in the face, supposedly. for doing
I tell
that.
you, man, it gets crazy.
My God.
It's like that's what happens, man. Britney doesn't have that same kind of, I guess, clout like back in the days.
I mean,
She's
he's like an
obviously-
18-year-old kid. He probably
Yeah.
doesn't even know who Britney Spears is.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was, man. It's like Madonna. She's out of the hospital. I mean, things change, man.
Oh, I heard she's
You
not
know-
doing well.
She's not, eh?
If I had to bet on
Damn.
Madonna, I would bet against her right now. She's not doing well.
Oof.
I'm trying to remember. There
Yo.
was this.
You know what
star
happens
site-
to? She's gonna get Michael Jackson, man. This is what happens to celebrities. Like when you have a music catalog, when you have a music catalog that's really deep, but you're not making any more hits, and they can make more money off
She
you
hasn't
dead
pissed
than
off
alive.
Coming for
anybody
you.
like. She hasn't pissed off anybody like Michael.
You don't think?
Oh,
I think
yeah, she
probably
has. She wanted to blow up the White House, man. What are you
No,
talking
man.
about?
Yo,
Like, she's
I'm
pissed
telling
off
you.
a lot of people.
I bet you she's pissed off people close to her.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Look at
I
the
love
track
that
record, man.
meme.
Look at the track record of big music stars. You think they last like they have long lives, man? Elvis,
Elvis
Whitney
Presley.
Houston,
Yeah, Elvis.
Michael
I
Jackson.
mean, Madonna's
Madonna's-
pretty old already. No,
She's not that
How old
old,
is she?
man. She's not old enough to
Big-
die.
she's way in her. She must be close to 70.
Yeah, but she's
Who,
still
Madonna,
not
she's
that
about
old.
60-something. She's about 64.
I'm saying it's. I
She's
don't think
looking
it's 64. She is 64.
No, she's not.
She's not. She's like she's been.
I
ill.
was gonna say.
Body-wise.
She
I'm
looks
not sure
odd.
if it's politically correct, but this meme that I see always going like, imagine going back to the 90s and telling people that in 30 years Roseanne would look better than Madonna, and they put like Roseanne, who lost a lot of weight and looks better than she did in the 90s, and yeah, she looks.
Yeah,
way
she looks
better than
good, man.
Madonna looks
I wouldn't
today.
go that far.
Oh yeah, come
That's
on,
going
Madonna
pretty
looks
far.
awful. Madonna looks plastic up.
I mean, all right. All right.
Nobody beats Jennifer Aniston, man.
I hope
She gets
Madonna.
old, but
I
she
hope
looks
Madonna
good.
pulls out of it and survives. But it's just.
But what does
It's
she
like
have?
when I heard
Wow,
that Madonna was ill and there was like mystery sickness. It's like, oh, are they like
She's
is
gonna
something
get off.
happening? Because like, I go straight to like, oh, they're trying to drug her to death. Like I don't know.
Like they did Britney and Kanye and all
Well,
that.
yeah, exactly. They try to do that to a lot of them, man. Wow. Who's the
Crazy.
conspiracy theorist on this show? Is it me or is it you guys? I don't know what's happening
since
anymore.
we,
You guys
Yeah,
are a bad
Freddie, man,
influence
we say
on
the
me.
truth.
Since there was like a Kanye mention just now by me, man, I just gotta say, like, man, this guy's style is weird, man. I don't like the way he. No, man. Like people are like fashion icon or whatever. I
Icon.
don't see it, man.
What do you
I
mean?
don't see it, man. I don't see it, man. And you see, since we're also like,
Are you talking about
I thought
overall history of Kanye or Kanye right now?
right now when he's walking with his new girlfriend or wife, there they got like him in tights and all, and she's wearing whatever. And the funniest meme I've seen on the subject is people going, "Oh, Kanye's got his own Pete Davidson," because she does look a little bit like Pete Davidson.
She looks like
What?
Kim Kardashian.
Ooh. Damn, that's not like attractive.
You don't think Ye looks
Right.
good here? You don't like this fashion?
He looks like Kimbo Slice.
Umbro sweatshirt?
He
AJ,
looks
That's
old,
Umbro.
AJ,
man.
keep
That's
your
terrible, man.
AJ, keep your mouth shut, please.
He
And
looks
don't
like
talk
Kimbo,
about,
man. For real.
Yeah, don't say these things. He looks good to me. I think he looks cool as hell. Here's his wife.
No, he doesn't, dude. Are you serious? No, come on. Are you joking?
His wife looks a little.
She does look like Peter. Yeah, you're right.
Pete Davidson.
You're right, Freddie.
She's got an interesting.
Yeah, she does.
Look
You sure
to
it's
her.
not?
And they
didn't
dress
invent
up.
it. I just read it.
She's got like kind of like a Zoolander kind of look. Yeah, I got it. Yeah,
Yeah, well, look at her here.
these people
okay?
are weird, dude. I'll just tell you straight up, man.
This is them in Tokyo. This is them in Tokyo looking awesome. Look how cool they look here. Fred, we talk about fashion. Look how cool Kanye looks here.
They look like ninjas, man.
I mean, she looks pretty good. I don't know. You see the physique on this lady?
Dude, he looks like Beverly Hills Ninja,
she looks okay.
She looks good. What are you saying?
Out.
She looks real good.
She looks like Peter Pan, man.
She looks fantastic, and he looks pretty cool
too. Yeah,
she
does look good. Yeah,
she looks good.
I don't know about that, dude. He has like socks that are not like. She does fill it up properly. I'll give you that much. Yes.
Yeah, he's got shoe socks that he's been wearing all the time.
What does he got? He's got like ninja. He's got like ninja shoes or something. Yeah. What is he, man?
And he's got these sweatpants.
Beverly Hills
Ninja. Some sort of. I think this is a jacket hanging on him, and then he's got his little mask, which he always wears. And he's in Tokyo. A lot of them wear masks.
Go back to the feet.
It's not cool, dude. Yeah.
I mean, she looks like she has like size 15 feet, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's just the picture, the way it's placed. Kanye's shoes are
for all the foot
kind of they're kind of weird looking, but like I kind of like them too because Kanye just knows how to do shoes.
Go up the picture a bit. Go up a little bit. What the hell was that? Go down. Okay.
What are you talking about?
It's her fingers. I saw something like sticking out of that red there, and then I'm like, what the hell is that?
That's her fingers.
Boing. There you go. It's her fingers. They're not red. Yeah. No, it's a pretty tight suit.
I don't know why.
Where was she, in Japan? I'm sure like everybody in Japan was like their eyes were like popping out.
They look amazing. I think they look really
Crazy
cool.
Americans.
I think she's beautiful. He's beautiful. They're a beautiful couple. They dress great. They look great.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're super fashionable, super cool, super inspirational. I love Kanye so much.
Freddie, what do you think of that Umbro shirt? That Umbro shirt looks like Charlie Brown, man.
Hey, Fred, what do you think of this outfit for Kanye? This is also Ye in L.A. About a month ago. What do you think of this outfit for Kanye?
His nuts are sticking out. That's what I'm going to tell you.
He seems to be
What's up with that?
Why is his dick out so much?
He's got a banana in his pocket.
So much dick in these pants. I don't know what's going on there.
Damn. Kanye, man.
He's got a nice big penis.
Don't need Viagra.
Good for him. Is he erect there? I think it's just package. I think it's just hanging package.
He's a package, man.
I think because he's wearing really tight tights. He's wearing tight tights and like maybe no underwears, and it's just like, here's my cock. Crazy.
I like that move. I can get away with this shit.
I like that move. If that's the move for fashion going forward in men's fashion, I'm down with that. Wearing tight tights and just like balls and dick just bouncing around. I'm down with that. I'm gonna start doing that, guys. Hey, Fred, your son's birthday party. I'm gonna wear friend's birthday party. Your son's birthday party here on I'm gonna wear Kanye tights and my dick will be all hanging. That's appropriate, right? No, you don't like that, Fred?
For a birthday party, kid's birthday party.
I think I just got disinvited.
I'm pretty sure they go like that.
I got a lot of pictures of Kanye. I mean, I could go on. Fred, you shouldn't have brought this up this late in the show because you know me.
But you still haven't showed the picture I'm talking about where he's walking with that.
Look how cool he looks here. Again with the shoes. Again with the shoes.
No, those shoes are not cool,
He looks fresh as hell.
But yeah, that outfit I say it looks good on him.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, but those shoes gotta go, man.
No, they're cool. I want some. I want some.
Ninja shoes,
I want them. I want them. I want to wear them. Everything he has, I want. I want to wear everything he wears. Everything, even the dick pants.
Damn, man. But those shoes, try not to wear them because I will pull them off. I'm going to tell you something. The rest of like the easy shoes and all that kind of stuff, they're really nice. But those things, it looks like he forgot to put shoes on. They look like tight socks.
I don't know. Fred's talking about Kanye's fashion, and I just don't understand why he's so mad. I think he looks cool.
Well, I'll tell you one. Out of all those pictures, the last one was probably his best attire. The first one with the Umbro was an embarrassment to Umbro. I don't know why that design was put out. That's why Umbro's not.
Oh, I think this is what Fred means. The Police shirt with the shoulder pads.
Yeah,
this look. Yeah,
wow.
I mean,
this is awful, but
this is him and his wife. This is an odd look. That's his wife, and that's
what is he wearing?
And there's shoulder pads too, and he's got the tights on and the little shoes.
Dude, come on.
I mean, it's weird. It's a weird look.
Let's be honest. Let me be honest with you. If you're walking down the streets of Montreal like at 3 in the morning, and these two guys
look at that comment, the black condom. That's what she looked like.
Look at this.
Yeah, he looks like a black condom, man, or a calamari,
she does.
man.
She does. Yeah.
That's weird.
Here, she looks like a condom.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's creepy.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
weird
black-
look.
Condom calamari, man.
Anyways,
Dude, if these people are walking
As
down
if
the
the
streets of
condom
Montreal at
already
3 in the
been
morning, I swear to
busted
God,
You know, like it's shrinking away from the
jiu-jitsu or not,
condom.
I'd be running. That's weird, man. These people are weird. Who wears that? Let him walk down like South Philadelphia with that costume. You know,
He'd be
Kanye or
fine.
no Kanye?
he's Kanye.
I don't think so, man.
People
I don't
love
think
him.
so.
He would be mobbed. People love him.
Yeah,
He's an
yeah,
icon.
yeah.
He's a goddamn icon.
Not looking like
it's a
that.
better look.
Not looking like that. What is that, man?
The shoulder pads
got
are a
shoulder
weird
pads?
look too. Yeah, and the tights.
He's got
and
like
yeah,
he's got
it's
like
odd.
like a chest pad as well. And the condom walking thing, I mean, that's if you find that attractive, you've got a problem.
I think it's cool.
Seek help.
I think it's cool.
That's not
you know
not
why? Because you
attractive.
walk down the street,
Cool,
everybody's
but
like,
okay, wait.
Whoa,
Hey,
what?
all right,
What's
Dave,
happening there?
Like,
Damn,
is
that
it
was
cool
scary. I
where
have
you
nightmares
would
now.
wear it?
Yes, I would. I think probably if I had it, if I had that police. Well, you can't hear me.
No way, man. You wear that shit, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear
I
you
think
now.
I
would.
It was like
Copying.
backlogging a bit. It was like,
Oh, can you hear me now?
yeah, I hear you now.
Oh, some went wrong.
It seems like it's lagging now.
Yeah, there's like a lag or something.
Yeah, there's a lag, man. We're going down. It's probably because of the heat and everything from all the air conditioners on in Montreal, and the powers are going off again.
All right, let's
All
wrap
to
up
say
the show.
is,
No, I'm done. We're wrapping up then. Can you hear me now? Are we good now? We're good now.
I hear you now, but
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
wear
yeah.
that
There's-
shit, Dave.
Night.
The lag is gone. Angelo doesn't like the look. I like the look. Fred's got to go. He's got to go, take care of business. I also have to take care of business. Fred's is rolled. Mine's not even rolled. So imagine how far behind I am on the game. So we got to go. Yankees are down 13-0 in the 7th. Looking terrible. Hating it. Hating every minute of
AJ
it.
13-2, man.
Angelo does not like the Kanye look. I don't know why, man. I like it. I think Kanye
I
looks
believe
cool.
you. Angelo,
I would
man.
wear that for sure. You know, I don't think I could pull it off. I think I don't think I need the shoulder pads because I got good enough shoulders. I'm not wearing the shoulder pads, but the Polizei
But why
shirt.
would
Would you be insulted
Honestly-
if I don't want to walk with you? If you dress like that, I wouldn't want to walk with you.
I mean, you've seen the
just-
kind
No,
of
but
shoes
Freddie-
I wear, Fred. Fred, you've seen my shoes. Sometimes they're
It's not
pretty
about
close.
the shoes. It's more about the tights and
Tight.
the shoulder pads.
Fred, I go
And
to
the balls
jiu-jitsu. I
hanging
got
out.
tights on at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. It's different.
Yeah,
dude.
we're not walking.
It's different.
through
They're
the streets
tighter,
with
like,
them.
but if your nuts are hanging, yeah.
I want to
You
walk
got
around
shorts
with the
over
dick
If you were
pants.
here.
dressed like that, walking like,
Dick pants. I'm gonna wear the dick pants. All right, I'm gonna get some dick pants and just wear them everywhere. Gonna get those sock shoes, wear them everywhere. The Polizei shirt, though, something about a German police shirt. I don't think I'd wear that. It makes me feel a little like a betrayer to my people. I wouldn't do that. But all the rest, we fine. It's a little far, I wouldn't buy a German car, and I wouldn't wear a German shirt. It's like a little, Although Adidas is German, and I allow it. Anyhow,
are you sure they're German or Italian?
they're German.
Well, there's some exceptions.
You're an exception. I allow you on this show as an exception. All right, we'll be back Saturday night. I haven't promoted this for shit. I've done a terrible job of promoting this, but we're going to be on after UFC 290 for the watch-along. It's been promoted in the chat, and hopefully you all know that we're on during every UFC pay-per-view. Did I say after? Shit. I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
During UFC 290, we'll be on 10 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday night. We'll be on watching the pay-per-view with you. If you're not watching the pay-per-view, we can tell you what's happening. We'll have a live clock, round-by-round updates, giving you the live scores and everything as we go. UFC 290, the whole crew will be here live in studio. UFC 290 coming up Saturday night, doing the watch-along. When the pay-per-view starts, that's when our show starts, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. Big thanks to Doug Hepburn and Patrick C. Hamilton dropping the super chats. Patrick, you're the super chat leader of the night. Appreciate everybody. Angelo, Patrick, Doug, for supporting the Ringside Report Network. You guys definitely the lifeblood of the show. Shout out to Lauren and Brooklyn and Johnny and 12-15% with the Tacitus quote. Really like that. That was my favorite. The 12-15% Tacitus. I've never seen anyone quote Tacitus outside of you and Roy, so that was quite nice for me. Thank you, everybody. We love you, and we will see you Saturday night right here on the Ringside Report Network. Ladies and gentlemen, pro wrestling and MMA fans from around the world, we have a special message just for you. Are you ready to take your love for pro wrestling and mixed martial arts to the next level? If so, then listen closely because we have an offer you won't want to miss. The Ringside Report Network brings you the best of the Squared Circle and the Octagon. We're here today to invite you to become a member of our exclusive community. Our vibrant and passionate community of members is waiting to welcome you with open arms. Connect with like-minded fans, share your opinions, and engage in lively discussions about the latest matches, epic rivalries, and upcoming events. Together, we'll celebrate the adrenaline-fueled world of pro wrestling and MMA. There's nobody on the internet that has as much knowledge and insight on this entertaining world of combat sports as we do. Please consider supporting the Ringside Report Network right now by going to membership.ringsidereport.net. That's membership.ringsidereport.net. Or if you want to join our YouTube channel, go to join.ringsidereport.net. Only members are invited to call into our shows, and we really, really want to hear from you. Don't wait another second, my friends. This is your opportunity to become a part of something extraordinary. Join the Ringside Report Network Pro Wrestling and MMA channel today and witness the action, drama, and excitement like never before. We can't wait to welcome you to our growing family of wrestling and MMA enthusiasts. Remember, together we're going to make some noise and celebrate the incredible world of pro wrestling and mixed martial arts. Thanks for joining us today, and we can't wait to speak